Imagine there are only 10 people on Earth, 5 men and 5 women. All the rest of humanity has vanishes. Fortunately, modern technology and resources still exist, and for the first few generations, life might be relatively comfortable. Because in this video, the thing that I am trying to discuss is the genetic diversity challenge that when you have a very small gene pool, human is gonna inevitably face. The problem with inbreeding. With only 10 people, if reproduction happens randomly, the risk of inbreeding is extremely high. In the first generation, you have 5 distinct bloodlines. By the second generation, your choices of parents shrinks and some relatives will inevitably mate. On the third generation, the population faces inevitable close relative mating. This increases the likelihood of genetic disorders, unhealthy children, and potentially misfunctional adults. If unchecked, this could threaten the survival of the entire society, which is very clear because you might have a lot of retarded people and people with different kinds of disabilities. So this is why genetic diversity actually matters. It is extremely crucial for the immune system strength for the entire society. It is also very important for disease resistance, adaptation to environmental changes and stuff. In a normal large population, diversity protects against this risk. But in a population of 10, the gene pool is extremely limited. Without intervention, inherited disorder can accumulate extremely fast. Selective reproduction as a strategy. To avoid collapse, the society would need to implement careful selective reproduction. Pair individuals to minimize harmful recessive genes. Ensure only healthy offspring reproduce. Track each lineage and prevent the most dangerous genetic combinations. So basically, we want to avoid people from getting married with their close bloodlines, and we're trying to inbreed them as far family tree wise from each other as possible, so that human society can live on continuously in an easier way. But even with such careful planning, some degree of inbreeding is still unavoidable. But controlled pairing can extend the population survival, reduce the chance of catastrophic failures and stuff like that. You guys can survive for a few more generations if that was possible. And then, by controlling all that, you'll have a society where basically you don't want the people with any disability to have any new offsprings, and only the healthy individuals are allowed to reproduce. And if human can survive the hardcore times and maybe in like 20 generations, human can eliminate most of the bad genes that actually kills the entire that actually makes people stupid and make them have severe disability. So by that time, the entire society can be relatively healthy. But still, there is some problems that the human beings are still facing. And those problems are genetic diversity is still very low. The gene pool does not increase by doing that. So basically, up till now, the human has eliminated all the bad genes that kills the entire society quickly. For example, Down syndrome or stuff like that essentially makes your offspring dysfunctional to the society and causes the collapse. So even when now that humans have a relatively healthy society, there is still another major risk, is all of the human beings are coming from 10 common ancestors, and they have common gene pools. it means that all of them has the same similar sets of immune system, and any new kinds of disease can be extremely detrimental for the entire human society. And these kind of things have actually happened in the past on bananas. Just a few decades ago, people are only raising one kind of banana because it is fast growing and it tastes great. But because all of those bananas, millions and millions of banana in the same kind across the entire world, are from the same ancestor, from the same gene set of one singular banana. And one day, there is a virus that comes and just shredded all of those bananas in the entire world, and now this specific breed of banana just goes extinct, and we can never have them anymore. And this kind of problem is gonna happen to human too, severely, even if the human society can function correctly and normally in normal circumstances. But whenever there is a new virus or a big change with the environment, it can kill the entire society very easily. So in order to solve that problem, the human has to improvise on their method of surviving. So first thing they need to do is they want to split their tribes. So whenever the population grows to a certain number, from like 200 to 500, a certain number, automatically split the population into two different cities, you can say, or tribes, so that whenever one tribe gets attacked by any kinds of virus and everybody there dies, the other tribe can at least be alert about it and figure out what they can do about it, so that it will not be a destructive moment for the entire human society. And whenever the tribe system is settled, we want to have the people in the tribes to inbreed with the people within the same tribes only, so that after maybe centuries or a lot of decades, the gene pool of different tribes are actually intertwined, and they becomes different. So then you can put them together, so that it increases the genetic diversity of the entire human species by a little bit. It does not recover all of the genetic diversity for the entire human population, but it definitely does help. Normally, whenever a species does not have a big enough gene pool, the species is gonna die out very easily and very soon. But luckily, we are human, and we have the technology in order to survive. Assuming that we do not have gene editing technology, or else we can just, make everyone healthy and immune to most of the diseases. But ignoring that, we still have the ability to make medicine and the ability to make vaccinations and all this kind of stuff. So the future human will have to survive themselves in a very, very strict, limited area with the exposure to the outer world to be as low as possible, so that it decreases the chance of a new virus that kills everyone. And everyone has to be very safe about the outer world, and the automation will have to take over most of the production, productivity and stuff. By doing that very strictly, selecting all your genes and splitting up in tribes to avoid sudden death, and if humans are smart enough to do all that in a perfect way, it is actually possible to survive with the gene pool of only 10 people. It is quite a low chance, but with the strategy, with collaboration, I do believe it is still possible for humans to survive such extreme situations. Thank you for watching for today's video.